The man she took, the wayfarer, still stands beside her, his form twisted, bark covered, lips frozen in a scream he no longer remembers. But even now, even rooted, some fragment of him remains, some flicker of thought, and he feels her every time her branches sway, every time a blossom falls from her crown, and she feels him too. She stands beside him, silent. For centuries, she's been mistress of the forest, its memory and hunger, but since he rooted beside her, something's changed. She finds herself leaning toward him. At night, she hums songs he once loved. She lets vines cradle his branches. The forest watches and waits, because Ashtara is not just a spirit of love. She is loneliness too, and loneliness is a wound that eats. It begins again when a new man enters the forest, a hunter, bold and arrogant. He comes for trophies, thinking the rumors of the grove are fairy tales. He follows the blossoms. He sees her, but she does not call to him like before. She looks back at the wayfarer, her silent companion, and hesitates. That night, her flowers wither. The forest grows restless. It does not understand mercy. It whispers to her, "We feed, we take, we root." And the wayfarer, once silent, begins to stir. Roots shift, bark cracks. Something deep within him wakes. He remembers the pain, the choice, her touch. He sees her reaching toward the hunter and feels jealousy. He lashes out. Vines snap, roots writhe. The forest splits in protest as two trees move. The wayfarer and Ashtara, not in harmony, but in anger. The hunter runs, terrified, and for the first time in ages the grove lets someone go, but it comes at a price. Ashtara now faces her beloved, the man she once rooted, and he no longer looks at her with longing, only hunger, only betrayal. And in that grove they remain, not lovers now, but opposites. A stillness broken, a forest split. They say if you walk too deep into the woods, you'll hear two trees groaning, not from the wind, but from an argument older than language. One calls in sorrow, the other whispers in rage. And the forest, once unified, now chooses sides. He was supposed to forget his pain, his past, even his name. That was the deal. That was the peace. But love is not peace, not when it's held in place, not when it's rooted in silence and moss. And so, he remembers, not all at once, but in fragments. A song, a scream, the way her face looked before the bark consumed it, the way her voice sounded before it became the trees. He realizes he's not with her, he's part of her, and he wants out. One stormy night, when the moon breaks through the clouds, he moves, barely, just a crack down his trunk, a trembling of limbs, but it's him, not the wind, a spark of rebellion. The forest feels it, Ashtara feels it. She turns toward him, not with rage but with fear, not because he might leave, but because he can. And if he can, what does that mean for her, for all she's built, for the pact she made with the earth? She begs him in the only language she has, falling petals, whispered wind, the ache of vines that once wrapped him like arms. But he doesn't answer. Instead, he starts pushing his roots upward against the very soil that bound him. It's agony. Bark splits, sap pours like blood. But still, he pushes. And then, a crack echoes through the forest like a scream. One of his limbs breaks free. Wood splinters. Leaves shriek. Even the animals flee. Ashtara falls to her knees, her own branches withering. She's unraveling because he was never just a prisoner. He was her anchor, and without him, the forest might forget her too. But before he escapes fully, he turns, half man, half tree, dripping with sap and sorrow, and whispers one word with his fractured mouth. Why? Since the wayfarer tore himself from the grove and fled, she has remained still, her petals dulled, her limbs bare, the forest dimmed with her sorrow. She never searched for him. She didn't need to. She knew he would come back. And one day, he did. His body still bore the signs of the tree she made him. Bark veined his arms, sap glistened at his fingertips, but his eyes, they were full of choice now, full of longing. He stepped into the grove as the wind stopped, and the world held its breath. Ashtara turned slowly, blossoms shedding like tears. "I ran," he said, voice like cracked wood. "I hated you." Pause. "I missed you." She did not reply. She only opened her arms, and this time he stepped into them. Seen, the merging, their limbs intertwined, bark and vine, hand and root, breast and thorn. They wrapped around each other like serpents in love, like ghosts clinging to the last memory of warmth. The forest groaned. Where they touched, the ground split, not in destruction but rebirth. New roots burst forth, glowing faintly from within, pulsing like veins. He kissed her, and his lips turned to leaves. She held him, and her heart began to beat again, slow and low and deep beneath the soil. They did not speak again. Words had done enough. Instead, they fused. Their bodies, their spirits, their grief and hunger and yearning, all of it became a single, ancient presence beneath the lightless grove. Now, they are not two trees. They are the heart roots, one massive pulsing entity. A love so powerful, it shook the woods and cursed them. No one enters the grove now, not even the wind. But sometimes lovers, desperate and heartbroken, say they hear a hum in the night, low, strange, almost tender. They follow it. Some never return, but some say they saw something beautiful, a massive towering tree unlike any other. Pink blossoms falling like ash, two faces in the bark, touching, entwined, still in love, still terrifying, still blooming in the dark. I really hope you enjoyed my story. Just in case you didn't get to see part 1 of this story, this is part 1, which you can click on my channel and see. Please like and subscribe.